There's a great deal of sexual mythology inherent in romance novels, where if this is the venue in which you learn about sex, you're screwed. Nobody has sex.
Literally?
You know, literally. Nobody has sex like sex in a romance novel. Really? It's ridiculous. We keep going back for more. Look, even the firemen are excited about it. We have a really long ladder and everything. So, as Candy and I were, and Candy, if you don't know, Candy was in Oregon, so this whole website is cross-country, and she's like, 4 hours behind me, and I'm like, what are you doing? As we were winding down the chapter about good sex, I thought it was time to address some of the sexual mythology of romance novels, and the things that happen in romance novels that don't happen in real life. So if there's any guys here, hi Ron. Believe me, we know that this is mythology, that doesn't mean we don't wish it would happen. That is a myth. So, sexual mythology number 1, the simultaneous orgasm. Come on now, and we mean it. This has to stop. It's a rare thing. All these authors who presume that sex means both parties come together and then come together, please. They crest together, they fly together, they shatter together, they walk into the gates of paradise, they do the sweaty tango, they dip into the twist of orgasm, and every minute there's sexual congresses with like one of those sweaters that covers the man and the woman like they're conjoined twins with 2 neck holes, 1 sleeve for one person, and an ample cotton weave between them for all sort of second base action underneath. There are not that many simultaneous orgasms in the sexual universe. To have each and every romantic couple embarking on conjoined, shattering orgasms, bliss each and every time in each and every book is ridiculous. Sexually speaking, women are wired differently than men. I don't know why no one knows this. And that's a hormonal and a biologic fact. Many women don't orgasm without direct clitoral stimulation. I'm going to have to stop hitting this manly staff in front of me. Because I keep stroking it. Many women find penetration to be a distant second, in preference to the actual strumming of the nubbin, which leads us to the second sexual myth. Many a romance sex scene will follow the hero reaching down to stroke her in a most sensitive spot in the midst of missionary position coitus. Human males do not have impossibly flexible arms. So the hero and heroine are going at it like a roof on a hot tuna pussy, and he's breaching the velvet boundaries of her deep cinnabar cave, and to put it bluntly, they're fucking. And somehow he reaches between their sliding, pounding bodies to find the stroke or clitoris in just the perfect amount of deft pressure, and BAM! She flies into a shattering, mind-numbing, moon-swallowing orgasm with one flick of his finger. Who are you kidding? This would be a memo to any romance authors in the room. For one thing, who can reach like that with their arms without encountering like a massive rotator cuff injury, or at least a good amount of shoulder strain? I can't even carry 2 bags on the subway. And for another thing, how does he curl his fingers around to stroke the magic button? It would seem to require his elbow to be pressed against his rib cage with his arms straight down without bending, plus full mobility to his fingers in an area that's a little crowded, all while they're humping away in perfectly toned ecstasy. Apparently, all heroes are double jointed in their fingers and shoulders and elbows. No heroine would ever be startled by a masculine arm nudging its way down to her cavern panties. Number 3. Let me just straddle the manly stuff here. Penetration does not yield instant orgasm. This is marginally related to the first and the second, but as we said, women like full action to perceive and pursue the path to orgasm. The number of romances that feature the heroine mounted on the manly man pole and 2 seconds later finding the golden field of orgasm is a total disservice to anyone who has ever had sex with a man who couldn't find the clitoris if it introduced itself. It's a really good thing I've had had 2 glasses of wine. Number 4, loss of virginity doesn't always involve pain or copious bleeding. There are a bunch of men in the room whose testicles are now like Ron is going to get up after me and be like red-faced. How you doing? There are stories of women with incredibly forthright and blood-rich hymens who, upon losing their virginity, really did bleed all over the place. That was for you, blood place. And there are certainly women for whom their first sexual experience was painful, and not necessarily because of the hymen of impassable fortress strength steel. It might have been because first sex is nervous, and nervous sex is not well lubricated, it can be a little chafy. But for most women, the savage shrieking of pain at the loss of her hymen, it doesn't happen. It might sting, stretch a little bit, but come on, the pounding on his back, the screaming, the kicking, the tears, and the sobbing, not normal. Come on. Maybe she hits her knee on the gear shift. And then maybe it throbs for a minute. You see gear shifts. The gear shifts are hard. And, terrible, horrible, tearing pain and stains everywhere that proclaim avast. Virginity, it hath been lost. It doesn't happen. Quit scaring the virgins. Virgins deserve not to be scared. It's not difficult. Finally, this is for the men, all 5 of you in the room, and you 2, honey. Give the mortal men a moment to rest, but not romance heroes. They don't get a rest. If you saw our April Fool's joke, we were served an injunction by the International Consortium of Heroes who objected heavily to the fact that we'd allegedly stolen their email messages. The International Consortium of Heroes outsources heroes to the romance genre and facilitates their care following a traumatic experience of being a romance hero. There's nothing more traumatic than being a hero. The ICH particularly hates this element of romance, and I'm here to tell you a lot of other people do too. All these superhuman romance heroes, they are a disservice to real men. The mullets, the muscles, the manhoods, they arch over the heroines, they groan out their orgasms, they collapse in sweaty, panting heaps on top of the heroines, and in 5, 4. They're hard and ready to seriously. One more time, twice, 3 times, why not? Faster than an Olympic gold medalist sprinter can haul ass down 100 meters. The romance hero, not the reader. The romance hero is hard and eager for more action. What the almighty freaking shit is that about? Come on! Unless the man is 17 years old, this does not happen. There is a concept of recovery time that does not ever affect a romance hero. And thus it casts the mortal man with normal, completely normal, turgid boners in a shameful light, because immediately after having a great orgasm, real men need half an hour, maybe an hour before they can think about going around another round. And of course she is too. No chafing ever enters the world of romance. There's no sensitivity. There's no sense of dude. Are you kidding? Oh no, it's boners and natural lube bringing another set of simultaneous orgasms to the reader's eager eyes. And there's some weight and validity to the accusations that romance novels really are overblown sexual fantasies, because, well, that particular sexual myth is nothing but overblown fantasy. Real men wish they could achieve rebound in that kind of brevity time. There's a whole pharmaceutical industry to that kind of a rebound time. And it's all covered by your health insurance. Birth control, not so much.